The NSA contractor accused of leaking the document is now identified. 25-year-old reality winner, yes, that's her name, from Augusta, Georgia. Just last month, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein made this statement saying, "Releasing classified material without authorization threatens our nation's security and undermines public faith in government," he said. "People who are trusted with classified information and pledge to protect it must be held accountable when they violate that obligation." So what will the legal fallout be? Let's bring in our legal panel. Mercedes Colwin is a criminal defense attorney and Fox News legal analyst. Bob Bianchi is a criminal defense attorney, also a former head county prosecutor. So reality winner, she was working for this government contractor, had top secret clearance, former Air Force enlisted person. She now faces 10 years in prison for leaking this document?
Isn't that unbelievable? We were just talking before we started. I said, Bob, it's incredible how some of these leakers have romanticized this whole notion. They've romanticized this notion about leaking these classified documents. She had top security. She knew that what she was doing violated the law. In fact, when she was approached by, arrested over the weekend, she was approached by the officials. She said, "Yes, I did it. Yes, I know that I released it. I published it." She knew everything that she had done was wrong. She knew it was criminal. Therefore, it's an open and shut case. The
FBI agent who arrested her says that she said, "Yeah, I did it." And hats off to the FBI and the other investigative agencies, because this online news outlet published the report, and basically the next day she was under arrest.
Yeah, and like Mercedes said, I mean, just to take a pun on the name, this is going to be reality loser here, because she is dead based on computer records, based upon the confession she gave. John, I can tell you, when I was doing these kinds of investigations, the danger to the investigation itself when you have classified information that's leaked out, and the danger to the agents that are investigating a case. I was telling Mercedes before, I had to scuttle a year-long investigation once because of a leak of an individual. So these people, I agree, who are romanticizing that they think they're doing something positive for the government. These aren't whistleblowers. These are people who are releasing information that scuttles the interests of the national security of this country and the investigative process to get to the bottom of this Russian situation.
But, you know, I mentioned in the first hour, Bradley Manning, now Chelsea Manning, leaked tens of thousands of documents that possibly got people killed over in Afghanistan. And he or she is now out of jail after being pardoned by Barack Obama. It's almost like, you know, like it wasn't all that serious, and reality winner might think the same.
Oh, that somehow she's done a public good. Pat myself on the back. I've exposed the government for what they've done. What have you exposed? You don't know the fallout of having done this, and that's what's so serious. Exactly what Bob said. There are lives at risk, national security. That's why the senator was so clear. This has to be prosecuted. This cannot be just, oh, okay, like some of the past cases that we've had with these leakers have gotten probation. This is not probation. This should be up to 10 years.
She's sitting in jail now and faces 10 years, and let's see if she thinks differently about her actions. We have to move on to another closely watched case that is a new development to bring you in. A judge and not a jury will decide the fate of the woman accused of encouraging her boyfriend to kill himself in Massachusetts. On July 13th of 2014, 18-year-old Conrad Roy committed suicide behind a Kmart in Fairhaven, Massachusetts. On February 6th of 2015, Michelle Carter was arraigned on involuntary manslaughter after his phone showed text messages from her telling him, quote, "You need to just do it." Carter's lawyers had asked the state's Supreme Court to dismiss the charges or try her as a juvenile. But on July 1st of last year, the court ruled the case could proceed. Yesterday, Carter waived her right to a jury trial. She faces up to 20 years in prison if she is convicted. But, Bob, I guess it's fair to say conviction is not a sure thing here.
Well, they're using the involuntary manslaughter statute, which indicates if a person acts recklessly, which is defined as a disregard for human life, then they can be convicted. There's a lot of evidence in this case, John. It's not just the text messages. She actually showed him how to do it, and while he was in the process of doing it, he walked away, and she said, "Get back into that car." So I think it's a pretty straightforward case, and going to a judge only, I think, was a huge tactical mistake for the defense.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, all right, Mercedes, what's your take?
I thought that was brilliant, Bob. I totally disagree. We agreed on the first segment, but certainly this. I think that was a brilliant move by the defense. Why do I say that? Because there's such public outcry. You read those text messages, you just flame up with anger. Like, how could you do this? Kill yourself, come on. Yeah, I'm angry, I'm frustrated. What are you saying this to a vulnerable kid who's saying, I'm not sure I should really kill myself? And she kept goading him and goading him. Your family will be fine. Just kill yourself, kill yourself. It's ridiculous. The jury would have convicted, no
There's
doubt.
Conrad's picture for viewers who might not know. He, pumped carbon monoxide gas into the cab of his truck, and at one point jumped out. And while he was in the process of doing that, she writes him and says, "Get back in. Just do it."
Right.
Like the Nike commercial. But the thing I alluded to earlier, though, Bob, is some states have laws saying you are not allowed to help somebody commit suicide. Massachusetts is not one of those states.
Yeah, and the legislature is going to obviously look at that, and but that's why the prosecutor brought it under the involuntary manslaughter charge. Clearly, as a prosecutor, I would like to have a charge that's directly on point, because I don't have to prove that strange concept of what reckless conduct is or isn't. Since they don't have the statute in Massachusetts for assisted suicide or helping somebody commit suicide, they've got to use the involuntary manslaughter.
Very quickly, you think she stands a better chance just with a judge?
She does, because if he starts parsing hairs and looking at the statute, knowing that there are these states that say it's criminal to encourage someone to go and commit suicide, she probably has a better chance, much better chance than with a jury, for sure.
We will continue to watch it. It's a very sad and bizarre story. Mercedes Coleman, Bob Bianchi, thank you.
Thanks for having us.